Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Director's Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Director's Chair.
Running a child care center is no small feat. With little hands everywhere, safety, cleanliness, and efficiency is always at the top of the mind, especially mine. That's where Bleach Buddy system comes in. Imagine having a fresh, accurate cleaning solution bottles ready to go every morning, saving you time and money while maintaining a spotless, safe environment for your kids. In just seconds, you can prepare bleach bottles for diaper stations, food prep areas, or play zones. So stay tuned to learn how Bleach Bud is revolutionizing cleaning in childcare centers across the country. So today we are joined with our friend Gary. He is one of the creators of Bleach Bud. Is that correct? Yeah, the creator. So tell folks a little bit like your background, what inspired you to create this awesome system that I was so lucky to see in person in
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah. So my name's Gary Zeal. My wife and I, we actually opened up our first center in 2018. And then it grew over time and we actually ended up getting two larger centers. Now, I'm from New York. I live in Albany, New York myself. That's where our centers were located. And in New York, the state requires you to make these cleaning bottles. So anyone in the industry, you have to have something to clean diaper surfaces. You got to have something for food surfaces. And generally speaking, people use bleach, right? It's the easiest way to do it. It's the cheapest way to do it. So I noticed that it was taking our centers like a long time. What's a long time? A long time is like 20 to 25 minutes. And in a world where staffing is the number one issue, I needed a way to get my teachers back in the classroom. So
Hey, it's Erica here, and I've got something super exciting to share with you. If you're in the world of early childhood education, you cannot miss the Early Childhood Empowerment Conference. And I'm not just saying that. Trust me, this is where the magic happens. Over the course of 3 days, we're all about learning, connecting, and reigniting that spark that brought you into the field in the first place. And let me tell you, this conference is packed with goodness. Day one is all about leadership. We've got 5 incredible presenters who will walk you through the business side of running your program. Plus, it's more intimate, a retreat-style day with only 80 administrators, so you'll get tons of face time and an opportunity to connect. And to close out the day, a fun, hilarious comedy show and dinner with Jay Yoder from the Board Teacher Comedy Tour. He graces the stages all over the country. Day 2 is a day full-blown conference with 50 vendors, 14 amazing speakers, plus 2, not 1, but 2 keynote addresses that will leave your head full of fresh ideas. Oh, and did I mention, you can also get a free professional headshot. You can even hop on an ECE podcast and share your expertise with the world. So much fun packed into one day. And then day 3, you get to relax. We're heading over to Urban Sweat, where you can treat yourself however you want. Whether you want to unwind in a Himalayan salt cave, you want to get into a yoga class, or just enjoy a relaxing massage, you will leave totally recharged. You can book your services directly with Rafa and pick exactly what you need. So are you in? Don't miss out 3 days of empowerment, inspiration, and just pure connection with your ECE community. I can't wait to see you there. So let's do this. Links below. See you soon.
about 2 years ago, I actually made our first bleach bud. It wasn't actually a product. I just made it. I wanted a way to make bleach bottles on demand without needing expensive chemicals. Now, back in June, my wife and I, we actually sold our centers. And that's when I decided maybe we could have other centers using bleach bud. And I commercialized it. And now we have a system that allows other daycares or childcare programs or schools, really, to make their cleaning bottles on demand.
It is a pretty cool system. And I saw it, as I said, in person. So You talk about getting the teachers back into the classroom, which we know is so important. What challenges, other than getting teachers back in the classroom, what challenges are you aiming to solve for folks?
Well, again, like I said, staffing is always the hardest part, but then there are people not really making the mixtures correctly. I mean, just throwing off a little bit too much bleach or not enough bleach can make the solution not effective or dangerous, really. So it needs to be accurate, right? So I wanted a system that not only could be done quickly, but accurately every single time, right? So that's why it was made. So the system itself, BleachBud, any program can do it. They just screw it to a wall and it will make in exact measurements, say a diaper solution bottle, mixing the exact measurement. But there was one other big issue, and that was people ruining their apparel. So as a small business owner, we don't have a lot of money. I don't think a lot of owners of daycares get into the industry for the money. So when a staff member comes up to you and is like, hey, you mind if I get another shirt? And it's like, yeah, of course. I mean, they're like $16 a pop. So, saving, getting new apparel was always important too. So that was one of the other reasons.
Yeah. I have many spotted shirts in my time. I'm luckily not making the bleach bottles anymore. That's now someone else's task, but I've done it for many years. So let's talk. One of the things I thought was really cool, because this is beyond bleach bottles. Let's talk about the toys and how you're able to use this equipment to clean like toys and things like that.
Yeah, another thing another thing daycares do is we sanitize our toys. I don't think anyone's ever said a child is clean. They don't play clean, all right? So they're always putting toys in their mouth. They're coming to school. They've got some type of sickness. So we have to sanitize those toys. So one of the other features that BleachBud has is it will make the perfect toy soaking mixture, okay? Because there are 3 different mixture settings. There's food, right? There's diaper surfaces, and then there are soaking toys overnight. So one of the things I wanted to do was clean our toys more often. I'm sure if you're the owner or even a teacher or director, you're working like 10-hour days, 11-hour days. The last thing you're thinking about is taking all your Legos, right, and soaking them before you leave. No, you want to go home. You want to go home because you're tired. What it does is I can just get, say, a tote, put all my wooden blocks, push the button, and it will come out like a garden hose in a bleach and water toy soaking solution. So now it's 6 o'clock. I want to go home. I quickly fill up the bucket. I come back the next morning and my toys are sanitized. And I can do that throughout the day. I can do it at the end of the night. Any hard surface toy can be soaked. And that's really important because let's be honest, I don't think a lot of daycares are doing it as often as we should. And no discredit to them. I know that this is one of the most challenging jobs anyone could ever imagine. I don't think anyone understands unless they're actually in the industry. So I wanted to give peace of mind, for us, but now for other people, because again, very challenging industry.
Yeah. And, it's November right now. And although podcasts are typically evergreen, we're going into cold and flu season. So, right. And you need your team to come to work and be healthy. And then if their kids go to your center, which is probably a very good chance they do, you need their kids to be healthy. And we know that is how we reduce, along with hand washing. The second way to do that is to make sure that our things are sanitized, our tables, our chairs, and our toys, right? We
Absolutely.
know that, that's,
and my wife and I, when we started, we started in 2018, and then 2019, 2020, COVID hit. So people forget that could come back or anything like that. I mean, these sicknesses spread very easily. So we have to be diligent as childcare providers to not only keep our staff safe, but like the kids. I mean, remember just a couple of years ago, it was, somebody has COVID and now the whole classroom has to get shut down. If we can stay on top of this, we can keep our centers open, keep the parents happy, keep the children happy, keep the teachers happy. Because if your teachers are out sick for a week, 2 weeks, that can really damage a center. That's a huge staffing issue. If, say, even 2 of your teachers are out sick for 2 weeks. So,
yeah, for sure. In a child care center where turnarounds are often needed, how does this product help ensure that cleaning bottles are ready to go in under 5 seconds?
Okay, so it's very basic. The system runs on just water. Okay, water and bleach. So there's no power. You don't have to have it programmed or any type of maintenance. You just screw it to the wall, drop in your bleach diffuser, and then once your water is on, it will automatically mix the bleach and water at the exact levels. And depending on how fast your water flow is, right? So like your faucet, that's how fast it comes out. So think of it as almost like a soda fountain. It's mixing the bleach and water that fast. So I can make my diaper bottle for infant 1 in literally 5 seconds. And then I can make a food solution bottle in also about 5 seconds. So that's how it does it. The water that's getting pulled into the system through your water line is actually what's creating the vacuum that sucks up the bleach. I don't want to get into it too much, but that's how it operates. And because of the way it's been set up, only a certain amount of bleach gets set in, which is the exact measurements that are set up through through New York State. So we've started branching out. I mean, I think you and I met in Connecticut, if my memory serves me correctly. Great show there, by the way. That was a great show. So as long as your state follows the same mixture requirements as New York State, then it would work. One of the things we're going to start looking into is other state requirements, because certain states will have more bleach. As of right now, we're focused on New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Vermont, and Massachusetts, essentially anywhere that follows the same mixtures.
Yeah. So how does this translate into savings for child care centers when it comes to supplies?
That's a good question, because honestly, there are a few different ways to make your cleaning bottles. And you've talked to a bunch of people. You own a daycare yourself. Some people will use expensive chemicals. So it'll be a similar system to what I have. And every month they'll order like the green bottles and the blue bottles and the red chemicals. Those are proprietary bottles that larger companies make you buy every month. So it costs way more than, say, bleach or any just basic chemicals. It will do the exact same thing. It'll give you, say, a clean bottle on demand, but it costs $100 a month. My system, as a small business owner who didn't have a lot of money, I needed to keep costs down. The cheapest way to do it was bleach. So it's a very similar system to a lot of things that are out there, except it's programmed to work with something you could go to a dollar store and buy, not something that you have to go to a large chain or a large company like Uline or somebody like that and order specific bottles. You buy any generic bleach, and that's how it works. So that's how it really saves money. The other way it saves money, though, was time. So at my centers, it would take my teachers or my staff about 20 to 25 minutes to make bottles. Now, some will say like, oh, that's crazy, but it's really not. We had to make 20 bottles every morning, required by the state. The state makes you have fresh bottles every morning. And if you're not doing that, you're going to get a violation. So if it takes 20 minutes a day to do this very simple task of taking a little cap of bleach and stick it in there, and then you fill up the bottle, that's 20 minutes that could be spent doing literally anything else. Like, I don't know, teaching a child or opening toddler 2 because, somebody called in and I need someone to open up toddler 2. So instead of spending 20 minutes doing something very simple, they're spending 2 minutes doing something. So if you want to translate that into money, it's very simple. How much does it cost you for 18 minutes of a teacher every day? Extrapolate that over the course of 1 year. 20 minutes works out to right around $1,200 a year. So with a bleach bud, you can save yourself about $1,200 a year. That's, again, if you're spending about 20 minutes a day making bottles.
Yeah.
And that doesn't even take into account the fact that it's just a lot easier to do it this way.
So what has the response been from child care centers that have adopted the bleach bud in their programs? Can you share some success stories?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to give out certain names, but we have quite a few centers. I actually just went out to Canandaigua and installed 2 systems, actually. Response has been great because for some reason, this has never existed. I don't know why. It's pretty simple. So they love it because they're from the day and age where you sit in the kitchen or in a classroom and you're mixing bleach and water. And it's just it's just such a useless thing to have to do. Like, why wouldn't there be a better way? Yeah. So they love it. Also in the daycare world, nobody's coming up with cool, exciting products. You know what I mean?
You are.
I'm trying. Well, I have a lot more free time now, so I want to come up with cool stuff. Yeah. So the response has been very good. I think people are very excited to see new things coming to a field that hasn't seen a lot of advancements. I think, obviously there's been a lot of advancements in like apps, like with Bright Wheel and things like that. And that's very cool, but I want to get more into how to free up teachers and how to save money. This is like the most important things as an owner of daycare.
Yeah, so I love that. So it kind of led into my next question is, how do you see your system helping childcare centers in the future, especially as cleaning regulations and guidelines continue to evolve?
Yeah. Well, not only is it going to save more time, because I guarantee you there isn't one director or assistant director out there who couldn't use 20 extra minutes from their teacher in the morning or at close. But on top of that, just the cleanliness. So if we can stop, say, one kid from getting sick throughout the year, I'd say it's worth it. But let's talk about your staff, because we talked about that in the beginning. If I have to be short-staffed for an entire week because my teachers keep getting sick, well, that's going to put a huge strain on it. And then when that strain happens, every single person in a daycare feels it. Their co-teacher feels it because now they've got to work with someone who's not really used to them. Mm-hmm. Then the kids are all off because it's not the same schedule, not the same routine. It's like a small little staffing issue explodes into this big thing. And I think by making our centers cleaner, we can help get things to stay routine, mm-hmm. which is the key to a successful daycare, staying routine. So it goes big when you really think about it. And I know it just seems dumb, right? Like, okay, you're just making bleach bottles. No, we're making sure that your daycare is clean and then your staff and kids stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, you get it, Gary. You clearly have owned a center. You clearly understand the day-to-day. You clearly understand the day-to-day. So,
to be fair, though, it was my wife, too. My wife and I, without her, like, geez, come on.
Yeah. Wife of Gary, great job.
Joelle. Shout out to Joelle. Yep.
Shout out for sure. Is there any tips that you have around cleaning toys, cleaning your center that you can share that we haven't talked about?
Well, I want to make sure that people do soak their toys. A lot of people that I've talked to just say, well, we use Lysol. And what they'll do is a can of Lysol and they just spray the living bejeebus out of their toys. And that's not effective. That's not effective. You need to soak your toys. So if you've got your Legos, I'm sure every single daycare in the United States has Legos. I'm sorry, no, but blocks and things like that. You've got to soak them. Anything that goes in the child's mouth needs to be cleaned. So that's probably one of the most important things. Another is for directors to really stay on, certain people. Because a lot of times when you're going through your staffing issues, you'll hire somebody who maybe doesn't have the experience. So if somebody doesn't have the experience, they may not see the benefit of like, oh, well, I have to clean the table every time. I have to clean the diaper surface every time. Yes, every time. Every time. I have to make fresh bottles every time. Yes, every 24 hours. That's why the state mandates it. We're not scientists. You're not scientists. People don't know that like the bleach is not effective post 24 hours. You're also supposed to use cold water. And most people don't realize that either because, again, we're not scientists. We just do what we think is right. So making sure that you're doing this, even if you don't have a bleach bud, making sure your bottles are fresh every day is not only required, but very important. And then making sure you clean your toys, very important. So if you want to, nice, smooth running daycare without people calling in.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Well, you drove that point home for sure.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's
I have a very big intensity for this.
Yeah, that's okay. So for folks who are in New York, they probably already heard of you, but we're going to share your link, your website below. We're also going to try to get him to come out to Rhode Island at our early childhood conference so you can actually see this equipment in live. It's really cool. And, and again, he's got a website. It's bleachbud.com. Easy to find, easy name. And if there are any other things that you think folks should know before we wrap it up today, let them know now.
I just want them to know that this system is so easy to install. It requires 4 screws and a garden hose connection. That is it. You don't need a plumber. You don't need to be handy. If you have a person who repairs things, sure, that's great. But you literally just need to screw it to the wall and hand screw on a garden hose. And now you have a bleach bud.
So it just screws into like a sink?
You screw it right onto a wall, say in your kitchen area, or in one of our centers, we put it in the laundry room. Okay, we were fortunate enough to have a laundry room in one of our centers. Sure. So it just went right there. hook the garden hose from another water dilution machine that we had. Simple as that. You can also hook it right off of a sink. So you screw it to the wall inside the kitchen and go from your sink to the bleach bud. It really is that simple. But just so you know, I do go out and install these for some centers because even with it being that simple, some people are busy. And
Yeah.
trust me, I know how busy you are. So depending on your distance, I will go out and install. Like I have some in Vermont. I just did a show in Vermont. I go out there and I'm going to be installing the systems for them because I don't mind. I like going out and seeing the centers. It's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
I do miss it. I kind of miss
Yeah,
it.
I bet.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I love supporting small businesses. So
Thank you. I agree.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think we all need to support each other in this industry for sure. And thank you for people who are being innovative and trying to do things that make our life easier because as you know, it's not an easy industry.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So not. Well, I appreciate you having me come on and talk about this because
Of course.
it is hard to get a name out there, especially in the childcare industry. A lot of people aren't looking for new products because their heads are down and they are trying to keep their center running.
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
appreciate it.
Yeah, now more than ever. So, all right, guys. Well, you are tuned in to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. Remember, it's the small details that make a big impact on the success of your center. And as always, have a great day.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.